Today we're talking about that never-ending topic, interview processes, and we have our lovely Abby Pillane, one of our specialist recruiters, who's in the arena every day dealing with a multitude of interview processes that clients throw at us. And we thought it might be helpful to go through some tips and hints in case you right now are going through the interview process. In the first stage, it's often about culture fit and personality and how does a candidate best represent themselves?
Just the basics, to be honest. Being on time to the interview, be prepared, make sure you're looking at the screen, dress smartly, because obviously a lot of interviews are remote now, but you still should make the effort to obviously turn your camera on, make sure you dress properly. If you've got, good background, no background noise, things like that, and just be warm and open about yourself, why you're looking for a new role, and just be as honest as you can be without being too honest. They want to know that you've done some research because it just shows that you have a little bit more commitment there and that you're actually interested in the role and them. Ask them about how their teams work together, where you would fit, have some good questions to be able to ask them so they know that you've really thought into this instead of just turning up and not knowing who and where you're interviewing for.
Is there anything you shouldn't ask?
Don't ask about package and salary and things like that in the first instance. You should ask more about the company and the culture, as I said previously. But yeah, nothing about holiday, your benefits you're going to get and things like that.
And what about that dreaded technical test?
So obviously a lot of companies do this now. Sometimes they do it the first and sometimes do it second or last. Doing it fairly promptly because it just shows you're dedicated. Obviously, if you're in a lot of interview processes, I always advise try not to get into too many because having that many technical tests is a lot to work around your normal work as well. So try not to do too many interview processes so you have enough time so you can dedicate your time to that tech test instead of just doing it quickly and probably not doing your best because you're up against some good developers. If you've got a week, maybe try and get it back in under a week just to show that you do care.
Yeah. So you get to the second stage. What do you then do differently?
They'll probably be asking you more technical questions. You need to understand where you'd fit in. So this is a good kind of time to get to grips with how you'd be working with them and how they work as well. Make sure you ask those more technical questions. Make sure you ask more in depthly about the teams, or how they do day to day, if they have weekly meetings, if they have daily meetings, things like that, to go into a little bit more of the day to day of it. Obviously, if you do feel uncomfortable within that, asking a question about the team or about the day to day, that's when I'd say we're here. So any awkward questions you can always ask a recruiter and they can be that middleman for you, I guess.
Any other tips?
Definitely, because there's so many companies hiring at the moment, a lot of candidates are in many processes and that's absolutely fine. But I do encourage people to be completely open and honest with a recruiter. If you're not 100% happy in the interview process, if you've got too much going on, or if you do just want to drop out, that's absolutely fine. These things happen, but let people know. So just being open and honest, everyone benefits from this. And if you are going to drop out that process, letting the recruiter know, not going directly to the client, also makes a massive difference, because obviously just respecting us that we've helped you, it does make a massive difference. And I think the last one, meet everyone, meet the recruiter you're working with. I like to meet candidates I'm working with. It just builds a better relationship. Obviously, we want to help you as much as possible. We want to get you the best role. I find meeting people the best way to do that. Zoom, Teams, obviously people live up and down the country. There's remote roles now, so not everyone can come meet me in London. But yeah, I do think meeting people makes a massive difference. You see how they perform on an interview. You can then give them tips on how, if they're maybe quite an awkward, shy person, you can do a little bit more training with them before that interview.
More personalized.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Abby, and good luck to everyone out there going through the interview process right now.